if you note, you see that Apenjo Makin also became majority leader from not being a leader at all. If you remember. So people were saying he has no leadership experience. And when I read it, I felt sad that Dominic Nitiwul would make those comments because
Dominic Nitiwul kokanden to make Honorable Dafeamekpor sad.
Agalga is a very tough guy. You know, he's a very tough guy. But the only thing he needs to realize is that he does not have the experience of leadership.
Hey, Honorable James Agalga does not have the experience of leadership. Wait there, Ayasembisao. Say, first time I will share, Mr. Say, Ubemia subscribe button to help us grow and reach a wider range of viewers. Samube Kaya, when the news of Honorable James Agalga being appointed as the new majority leader, APA, Dominic Nitiwul Ekasai or Joy, Nania Okaeno, Honorable Dafeamekpor any Anji Hokra. Enwe chino, Omumbi no Eko Shy on TV3, but answer na yebehwe ni esi wa TV3 no, yentie niya Honorable Nitiwul Ekan or Joy.
Agalga is a very tough guy. You know, he's a very tough guy. But the only thing he needs to realize is that he does not have the experience of leadership. You know, Apenyo, Anodompre, Mama Pat, and Habib have the experience of leadership, and they have been there. All the four of them have been there long before him. Some of them have done 7 years, 6 years. Some of them have done 6.5 years. Apenyo has done almost like 4 years in leadership. So they have the experience of leadership and what it takes. And it is a calling. But apart from that, it's a skill that you need to learn on your feet. But when it comes to parliamentary work, Agalga came in, and I think either 2012 or 2016, so 2012. So he came with Apenyo, they are mates. So he has an idea about how to go about leadership. So I'm not surprised that the president picked up on him to go. If he didn't go there, then he would have gone to defense. But once the president believes that he will settle on it, he has to learn very fast. Otherwise, trust me, the mighty 87 will overrun him, and will overrun him very, very fast. And he's 188, because I know that there's one who's locked up outside the country. So the 188 and then the 87 members, I can tell you that if he's not on his feet, the 87 will overrun him and overrun him very, very quickly.
Quite some experience. That is chaired by my new boss, James Agalga.
Oh, so you're confirming that James Agalga is your new boss?
Yes, he is.
I see.
Yes.
So this was after consultation with you, the other leader, and the party yesterday?
Yes.
You did that meeting yesterday, or you had already decided? Because I'm sure this decision, you knew about it.
The final decision was taken yesterday. And he's my new leader.
I see. Were there other persons in consideration?
No, the issue was only about the leadership. The arrowhead.
Yes, the arrowhead. Were there other persons in who were being considered for that arrowhead, that majority leadership position?
Well, it's James Agalga is our new leader.
Obviously, but
yes.
I mean that
James Agalga is our new leader.
You're saying the final decision was taken yesterday.
Yes.
So it means that there was some deliberation.
Yes, as to the announcements, I believe that yesterday was also the day that we did the 1 year dua for my friend Murtala Mohammed. Mm-hmm. So in the wisdom of the president, I believe that it was then, the time was then ripe for him to announce the small changes that he did within his ministerial structure.
I see.
And so if he's taking my arrowhead away from Parliament, mm-hmm. then the issue is about a straight replacement as to who will replace the Honorable Mama Yarega. And so James, also being from the Upper East, it was a very straightforward matter.
I see. I asked whether there were other considerations because at some point your name came up as well as possible replacement for Mama Yarega.
No, I'm the chief whip, and I think that I love being the chief whip. Yeah, I love being the chief whip. I believe that even in the House, if you have an effective chief whip, then the job is easier. Yes. So I love being the chief whip. And so...
I see. Anyway, say the job is easier when you have an effective majority chief whip.
Yes.
And
No,
that's
an
what you are doing.
effective whip, I should say, an effective chief whip, supported by 2 deputies. If you don't have a good whip, then you, the leader, you struggle. It's that simple. And so I don't think that we have any issues there.
I see. What kind of a leader are we expected to have in the person of James Agalga? You know him better.
Yes,
I've
known James since school. It's been my senior in school, my senior at the bar, an exceptional advocate, brilliant thinker on his feet, brilliant debater on the floor. He has what we call the chamber voice, you know. When in politics, there are some who are gifted with some manner of speaking, and James is one such person.
I see.
He has a voice such that anytime he's on his feet on the floor, you are minded to listen to him. You have to listen to him if he's talking. It's one such. He's one of the few guys that are gifted that way, and he's brilliant. He's solid on procedure, solid on law, reasons exceptionally well, and speaks well. His language is sound, speaks brilliant English. So we relish to working with him and him providing guidance in terms of how we manage the caucus. Everybody is congratulating him. We all know that it's just a matter of time that he will lead the house.
But
I met him in Parliament, and he's never had a bad day in Parliament. So I've never recalled that James ever on his feet and flustered a debate or no. He always brings perspectives that you may not have averted your mind to.
But did you ever also hear him as one of the persons being suggested for the defense ministry substantive? I mean, obviously the president is seeing something that we're all not seeing, right?
Now, the expectations were that during this issue, let me be very honest, this issue came up during the time of the general appointments.
I see.
Because of the fact that he'd been a deputy minister of interior before. And he was also the ranking member on our defense and interior committee at the time.
Yes.
So the expectations were that he would have been the natural choice. But it didn't happen. And James, he didn't get any appointment at all. But he continued to work, applied himself, committed to the cause of the caucus, government business. You know, when we recently passed the community service bill, he was the center of it, being the chairman of the Defense and Interior Committee. So it's been very effective for us. And so being the majority leader, straight from where he sat, if you note, you see that Apenyo Markin also became majority leader from not being a leader at all, if you remember. So people were saying he has no leadership experience. And when I read it, I felt sad that Dominic Nitiwul would make those comments because he knows that when
he says James Agalga is tough, but he lacks leadership experience for the role of a majority leader.
I disagree with him. I disagree with him at all because James has been part of the extended leadership. We call something in the House extended leadership, being the chairman of a committee, having been a ranking member, and from about the 2021 to date. No, from 2017. He was ranking member of that committee from 2017. You know, and for 8 years he was a ranking member on that committee, and then when we came back, he became the chairperson of the same committee. When we created the new Security and Intelligence Committee, the chair went to Dr. Ajman Rawlings. And then James retained the chairship of the Defense and Interior Committee. And he's been exceptional in that role, generally helping the core leadership of the House to manage the caucus. And he's also the chairman of his the Upper East caucus. We call them, we are regional caucuses, and he chairs that caucus. So how can anybody say that such a person of such tremendous pedigree lacks leadership experience? What sort of leadership are you talking about?
Well,
so my point is that the position taken by the Honorable Nitiwul is most unfair. It has no basis because if you speak of leadership both within the House, leadership experience both within the House and at the ministerial level, James he has both sides of the world. He's been a deputy minister for 4 years and Minister of Interior. Such a huge ministry if you consider the number of agencies that they superintend.
Yeah.
And he did so marvelously for 4 years. And that's 10 years ago. He was there from 2013 to 2016. And then in Parliament, I came to meet him in Parliament. Very articulate lawyer, member of Parliament, rose to become ranking member, Defense and Interior Committee for 8 years, then chairperson for the same committee for 1.5 years, I should say. He's also the ranking member for the Human Rights, because the Human Rights Committee is chaired by the other side. We have a number of committees that the minority chair in Parliament. One of them is the Human Rights Committee, chaired by the member for Kumawu.
Right.
And he runs that committee. And so he has he has such a huge background of experience in terms of leadership. So Dominic Nitiwul should tell us exactly what sort of leadership he's referencing here. Then we can situate the argument properly. But other than that, I think James is a fitting replacement to my indubitable Mama Agalga, I should say.
First off, there's a statement that's been widely published, attributed to you, that you say that James Agalga, the newly named majority leader, is tough. You agree, yes, but he lacks leadership experience for that role of majority leader. What exactly do you mean by that?
So first of all, I didn't say that to condemn him. That's the first point I want to make. I said that because when it comes to the work of Parliament, I've been in Parliament with Agalga. He came to meet me in Parliament, and he's a very tough legislator. He's very good at the work he does. He can be very, very tough. He's given us very good time, very tough time whilst we were in opposition. He gave us a very tough time whilst we were in government for 8 years. So I know him when it comes to the work of legislation and the work of advocacy in Parliament. He's very, very good at that. What I said, and I still maintain, is that he has not experienced parliamentary leadership before. Not at all. He's been in leadership, what we call the extended leadership, because he was a ranking member on Defense and Interior. So for the extended leadership, he was there before. He's also now part of the extended leadership because he's the chairman of Defense and Interior. But when it comes to the leadership itself, the core leadership, and there are 5, he's never been part of it. And he's facing a bench that has been in leadership far longer than you can think of. So the leader, for example, at our side, Afenyo Market, has been in leadership for about 3.5 years. His deputy has been in leadership for almost 5.5 years. The first deputy whip, the chief whip, has been in leadership for almost 5.5 years. Then the first deputy whip has also been in Parliament in leadership for 5.5 years. So he's facing a very experienced minority leadership. And if he does not put his ass together, he'll face problems when he's dealing with them. Because as he said, and I agree with him, there are people who are very good in the work they do. The act of leadership, the act of creating issues for you, the act of working you up, the act of making sure that they can set you up. So if you don't transition very quickly from the extended leadership into the core leadership, and not just the core leadership. He's not deputizing anybody. He is the main leader. And if you are the main leader and you haven't had that experience before, you have to adapt quickly. If you don't adapt quickly, you will have serious problems.
I see. And the quick adaptation to this new role, you don't see, you don't think he has it?
He has 2 or 3 things he has to do. One is that he has to get the buy-in of including the man sitting in your studio, the chief whip. He is going to be the person who will help him. Because if he doesn't get a buy-in of his own side, that is, first of all, the leadership, then he has to get a buy-in of the speaker and the deputy speakers. Then, more importantly, he has to get a buy-in of both the majority and the minority caucuses. If he can do that seamlessly, I believe that he'll be able to get through. But if he doesn't, if he's not able to get a buy-in, especially from his own leadership, backing that he needs from his leadership, he will face a lot of problems. Remember that the NDC just has 1.5 years for the elections to come. And so he's literally being put there, and he's going to be the one who prepared the party in parliament for elections. They have 188 MPs. In fact, they won 189 working with them. There are some 4 or so independent candidates. So they want about 185 MPs. It is his role to ensure that all these people come back in consultation with the party and to work with them. And it's a different kettle of fish, completely. It is not like you have come to power, you have had some bit of time, you are working together, you are implementing government. You are going to implement the government policies, government agenda, as well as look at the party as well. What are you going to do? How are you going to position the party? Will you be aggressive in parliament? Will you be amenable to the minority? Will you stretch your hand of friendship to them? Or you are going to be very aggressive? What will be your posture? How will the minority take your new leadership? You have just come. Will they try to bully you, or will they try to be friendly with you? It's all part of all this maneuvering to assert yourself. We are 87 people. We want to assert ourselves. We want to dominate. We will see somebody who is fresh, who has just come, and we want to take advantage. So it's all part of what he has to do to be able to assert himself. But like I said, if he doesn't get the cooperation of his front bench, he'll face a lot of problems.
Well, but you talk about the experience as well of your side, and you outlined the leadership experience that your side also has, and what you say could possibly pose as a big challenge for him. But he is also new to the leadership in Parliament, is he not? I mean, being a member of the 6th, 7th, 8th, this 9th Parliament, this is his 4th term, and he has chaired a number of critical committees in Parliament as well. Think that's not going to play a role in bringing that kind of experience that you talk about that your side has to also match up to what he's bringing to the majority side?
So first of all, I did say, and I consider that he is part of what we call the extended leadership. Because when I was Minister for Defense, he was my ranking member. That's why I could immediately describe him as a tough guy, top legislator. It's very good at the job because I worked with him for 8 years, so I know what he's capable of. I know he's very intelligent. He thinks very fast on his feet, and I also know that he's a tough guy. When I say tough guy, I really mean it because I've dealt with him for 8 years. When I was minister, he was my ranking. And I know what he can do and what he cannot do. That's why I use the word that he's part of the extended leadership. But I also concede that you will need to have some bit of experience when it comes to leadership itself. Remember, I was deputy leader for 4 years. So I'm one of the few people who have been minister and also been leaders before. I was leader in opposition for 4 years. So I know what it takes to be able to do that work. And I know the difficulties that you will get. I know what you have to do to be able to reach out to the other side. And I know what you have to do to stir trouble on the other side or calm waters. All I say is that he has to adapt very quickly from being a member of the extended leadership, which he was very good at doing, to being the arrowhead, to being the leader, to being the guy who will manage the whole house with the speaker. And that, I tell you, is a different learning ball game altogether. It's a different learning curve. It's a different challenge. But I believe that if he takes his time, he will do it. There's no time for him to learn, unfortunately for him. Unlike other people, you can learn on the ropes and take some 6 months to adjust. There is no time for him to adjust because he literally has 2 years, 2.5 years more to do that kind of work. 2027, 2028, we are in an election cycle. And like I said before, if the party is, and unfortunately, party members are unforgiving. If they don't see what they want to see in you, they will start giving you problems. And they'll start questioning your credentials. They'll start questioning your abilities, and they'll start pushing for a change, especially if you have tough legislatures like what he's going to face on the opposite side. But like I said before, he's been a member of the external leadership. He did well whilst he was there, and we all hope to see what he'll be able to do whilst he's there. Nobody's wishing him bad. Nobody's wishing him to fail. No, not at all. He's my brother, my friend. Even if he's not, nobody will wish him to fail. At least you give somebody a chance to prove himself. And like I said before, I'm clear in my mind that he has got to be able to prove himself because he's not yet been there before. It's like somebody who has, when I first entered the Ministry of Defense, of course, there were people who obviously doubt you because you have never been a minister. You were a leader in parliament, but you've never been a minister. So it was obvious that there are some people who say, oh, can he do it? Can he do it? They will question you. It's normal. So I don't have a problem with anybody, including myself, who will do that. It is up to you to be able to make sure that you prove everybody wrong. It's as simple as that.
I see. Kindly stay with me. Now you've got clarity. He still stands by that statement, but he made it in a context. He says,
it's very unfortunate. I was hoping that I still call him leader. I don't even call him minister. I mean, I still call him Nitiwul leader. It's unfortunate that leader is pushing that tangent because you see, when he came to parliament in 2002 through that by-election, he lost at the end of that term. He came back strongly, I believe, in 2008. He got appointed as deputy minority leader, I believe, in January 2013.
Yeah.
So if you calculate his stay in parliament before then, he had done like 5 years, like 6 years, by parliamentary life. And yet he was appointed a deputy minority leader. And he acquitted himself well. Everybody wished him. I think at the time he was the youngest ever person in leadership.
True.
I think it's still, that record is still
it hasn't been broken yet.
Now, but he did well. Why? Because he was assisted with the team that he worked with. So I believe that that's the kind of angle I want him to push, that once the bedrock of the leadership that Agalga is coming to lead is not disrupted, things should be easy for him to just continue from where my senior Agalga is living off. But if you keep pushing that parliamentary experience, I believe he has it. You have eloquently spoken to the man's abilities in terms of leadership of committees.
That he doesn't doubt.
No, so if you don't, but you see, there's no school for leadership in parliament. He himself came and he was assisted, he succeeded brilliantly. He gave his indication when he went to the ministry as defense minister. He had no experience, but he went there and he did his best for 8 years. He's actually one of the longest serving defense ministers we've had in this country.
True.
A lot of people never had.
That's Dominic Nitiwul.
Yes, Dominic Nitiwul. People will go there 2 years, 3 years, or 4 years. But I don't recall anybody doing 2 terms continuously, uninterrupted. So because of his long stay at defense ministry, a lot of people look up to him on matters of defense. Even in government, people still speak to him on matters such as that. So it's that kind of talk that you have to make for your brother. That you think that because he's been such a brilliant ranking member, Defense and Interior, for 8 years, is a formidable chairman for Defense and Interior for 1.5 years, and given the general work that he's done as a 4-term member of parliament, it's expected that he would bring all this experience to bear on his new role as the leader of the house, leader of government business.
But he said he made it in a context. He explained the context in which...
If you keep pushing that, then I'll ask you, because when Apenyo Markin himself, Apenyo Markin he used similar route that Dominic used. Apenyo was appointed deputy leader in 2021 to replace Adjoa Safo.
Yes.
Okay, when Adjoa Safo was not brought back as a deputy leader to Che, Apenyo was not... I don't even recall that he was a committee chair. He was not. And he always spoke to that issue that he was a backbencher who was minding his business. And yet he was made the deputy leader to the great Chairman Sabunsu. And he assisted him. And when the party decided that they will make changes, they brought Apenyo as the arrowhead. And he's been there ever since. So he left majority leader role. Now he's the minority leader. So I am saying that, and Apenyo is also succeeding as the leader on their side because of some background work that he's done and the way he's able to carry the caucus. And so I expect that he will wish James the same. And let me make this correction. Apparently, James is a 204 law school graduate, not 207. So I got it wrong. I've just had a lot of messages from colleagues. They say, you are diminishing. So he's 22 years at the bar.
Perfect.
You know,
no, but the Honorable Nitiwul, anyway, he still stands by that statement and justifying it for that.
No, he can't justify it. He has no basis.
There's no
by
basis
his own analysis. By his own analysis,
yeah,
and with his own example, James Agalga will succeed. He won't have any difficulties.
He sucks.
Mema wakwa abadium. Na mo mi pese mi bisa say, does the fact that you have not taken any main leadership role mean say you don't have any leadership experience, Anna? The answer is no. The fact say you have not taken any main leadership role doesn't mean say you don't have any leadership experience. That is also not to say all leadership roles are the same. They might not be the same, and the experiences needed to handle them might not be the same. But the fact that you have not taken any main leadership role does not mean say you don't have any leadership experience. The other thing Suni said, you can write on the experience of others, which I believe the Honorable Majority Leader is going to use to his advantage. If you have not yet subscribed, Mesrel say to grow by subscribing to this channel. Thank you.